Hi everybody, very welcome to Mentor, yet another video podcast. As always, I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic out there. So, today on the podcast, we'll be talking about aviation headsets. What do you need to think about? Do you need to buy your own headset? And at the end, what headset am I using and why did I choose that particular headset? So stay tuned to the end, I think you're gonna like this one. So if we start with the question, why do you need to buy your own headsets? There are a couple of reasons for that, okay. First of all, do you get your own do the airline provide you with your own headset? No. Do the airlines provide you with a headset? Yes. Okay, so the way that they would probably work is once you get employed by an airline, they will provide you with some sort of headset in the cockpit. It will probably not be your own headset, it's going to be a headset that is connected to that aircraft, which means that all of the pilots who are flying that particular aircraft will be using the same headset. So this is probably my first reason, okay? It's a purely hygienical question about not wanting to share the headset and a headset boom that's sitting about half an inch away from the mouth of every single pilot that has been flying that particular aircraft. So that's reason number one. Then if you look at the more serious reasons, okay, it's likely that if you join the airline industry in your 20s and you're going to be working up until you're 65, you will be spending a mountain of time inside of a cockpit. Now, a cockpit is a fairly noisy place. Even in the more modern aircrafts, there will still be a little bit of noise. And if you're flying the slightly older type aircraft, like the 737, for example, it is a fairly noisy place to be in, actually. There's loads of wind noise, especially at lower altitudes, at higher indicated airspeeds. But even at higher altitudes, there will be the lower rumbling of the engines and so on. So you will be subjected to quite a lot of noise. And the more you can reduce that amount of noise, the better it will be for your health, for your fatigue levels, and of course for your ability to keep your hearing and maintain your Class 1 medical. So from a health perspective, I would definitely recommend you to get as good of a headset as you possibly can. From a training point of view, since I'm a training captain and I get to see this all the time, I know that as you're getting into your line training, just understanding air traffic control in different parts of the world will be slightly different. There will be different dialects. It's a challenge to really comprehend ATC in the beginning. Now, of course, if you on top of that put that you can't really hear them because the audio on your headset that you're using is not very good, and the airline, the headsets that you're being provided with by the airline tends to be very simple ones. They don't tend to have active noise reduction, things, fancy pants, things like that. So, if you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, if you start off with a good headset, you will hear ATC better, you will be less fatigued, and it will make your training easier. So I do recommend you to get a headset. Then we get to the question of how do you choose a headset? This obviously is going to be heavily dependent on what kind of budget you're on. And I do realize that most of you guys who are just finishing your training, who have self-sponsored your training, the economy is a big deal. So you will find headsets from price ranges of about $150 up to and above $1,100. Okay, there are loads of headsets out there. I would, however, advise you, if you can, to see this as a long-term investment. So if you can save up for the first couple of months that you're working and buy a slightly better headset that will last you for a longer time, I would suggest that you do so. Okay, that headset might be serving you for many, many years. So if you break the cost up over all of those years, you'll see that it's not that much. Now, when you look at headsets, what you want is a headset that has a couple of qualities. You want it to be very well noise reduced, okay? Either passively, passive noise reduction is by here, proper ear cups that really holds around your ears and keeps the noise out passively. Those tends to be very cheap, or at least cheaper. Like the old David Clark headsets are very, very good when it comes to that. You also want a headset that is very comfortable to wear. And the reason for that is that you will have that headset on your head for, you know, up to 8 or 10 hours per day. So the slightest misfit or high weight is going to, you know, have an incremental effect on you during the day. So while you feel quite good in the beginning of the day, you will definitely feel it at the end of the day. So you want it to be well fit. You also want it to be able to take a lot of stress, you know, being shoved down into your flight bag, being taken up and putting down multiple times. So you want it to be of good build quality. And as you see, whenever you want something that has good noise characteristics, good fit, good quality, and of course good sound, it tends to rack the prices up a bit. So I have looked at 3 different headsets, including the headset that I'm using myself. I found one headset that I haven't heard much from my colleagues about actually, but when I've been searching the internet, it seems to have gotten quite good reviews. And it's called the Faro G2. Okay. The Faro G2 seems to be a fairly good quality budget alternative. Okay, you can find it both with and without active noise reduction, and with active noise reduction you seem to be able to find it around $400, which is a good price for a quality headset. Like I said, none of my colleagues are using this one, so I don't really have any personal feedback on it, but like I said, it seems to have, you know, be getting quite good reviews. Now, if you then want to jump one step further up in the price range, you get to the Lightspeed Sulu, the Lightspeed Sulu 2, which also is a very, very good headset. It is lightweight, it has good fit, it has Bluetooth capability, which might or might not be interesting because most airlines will not allow you to use Bluetooth in the cockpit, but if you're using it for general aviation as well, it might be a good idea to have. The active noise reduction is reported to be very good, and the Lightspeed I actually have quite a few of my colleagues using, and they're very happy with it. Then, if you want to get up to the highest quality headset, the kind of Rolls-Royce of aviation headset, you get to the Bose A20. Okay. The Bose A20, I think if you just Google a little bit, you'll see that it has the highest grades out of all of the headsets that have been tested in basically every single test that you can find. And the reason for that being that Bose was one of the first companies in the world to start experimenting with active noise reduction. If you want to know what active noise reduction actually is, then just click search here on YouTube, search for active noise reduction, and you'll get a good explanation of it. Okay. Since they were among the first companies to work on this, it means that they have been able to refine the technology quite a bit. So the noise reduction on the Bose headsets are brilliant. Okay, very, very good. On top of that, Bose has, they're working only with quality products. So you can expect both to have a headset that works for a long time and also have really good support in case something would go wrong with your headset. I have, and I do own quite a few Bose products, and I've always just been able to contact them and get stuff fixed immediately if something would go wrong with it. And that brings me to what headset I am using. So I am actually using the Bose A20. Okay, I have just got this one, and I have not used this particular headset much before, but I am really looking forward to do so, and I will give you a report and feedback as soon as I have started to using this online. It's an extremely sturdy headset. It has lightweight materials, which means that it basically doesn't feel like you have it on your head at all. Even though it's a big headset. You can use this both for general aviation and for commercial aviation. It fits very nicely onto your head. The cups are fitting very well around the ears. You can barely feel that they're there, and the boom mic is adjustable up to 160 degrees, so you can put it wherever you want, but it should be about ½ an inch away from your mouth in order to get best audio quality out of it. This one has also Bluetooth capabilities, and like I said before, Bluetooth is not something that I personally is very interested in, because we are not allowed to listen to music or use different mobile apps and stuff like that while we are flying. But if you're using it for general aviation purposes, then maybe you want to listen to your favorite rock band, and with the Bose and also with the Sulu Lightspeed you can do that. So in summary, guys, really the point I want to make here is that I want you to really prioritize your hearing, and I want you to have as good of a headset as humanly possible when you get into the commercial aviation. I do understand that it does cost money. The Bose A20 is probably the most expensive one of them out there on the market. I think it's about $1,080. But like I said in the beginning of the video, I see it as an investment in my own health for long term. So if you can spare it, then go for as good of a headset that you can get for your money. I guarantee you that you will not regret it over the years to come when you're going to be sitting in those sitting in those cockpits with that noise around you. Right guys, that's all I had to say about headsets. I hope that you found it helpful, and stay tuned for more episodes. I have some new stuff coming up. So if you haven't already, click the subscribe button below, and I hope that you're all having a fantastic day as always, and I'll see you next time.